butterflies inside, out of cocoon. You and me are poetry, rhythm and spring. Come dance in my bloom. This room.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Sistaaz Heal, where we keep it real, okay? Sistaaz Heal is a space for Black women to come together and just be themselves and be light, be love, be sunshine, be all of the things. And I'm so grateful for the Black women that we have on this call to come in here and really discuss what it means to them to have power as a Black woman, and what it means to just be powerful and to stand in that truth. So I'm so grateful, and I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. But first, I wanna start off with a little Sister Speak moment where me, the founder, Nyabingha Zianni, also the host, shares a little piece to kind of ground us in the space. So I have a little song that I wanna share. And it's something small. I didn't know what I was gonna share today, y'all, but this is what it is. So it goes, you are a queen sister, a different type of lady, you the man respecting, drive them crazy. And you got the kind of mind that'll raise them right. Your intellect, it shines so bright. You are a queen sister, a different type of lady. You the man respecting, keep it classy. And you got the kind of mind that'll raise them right. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just leave it right there. And I just wanted to share that, you know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to do too much because it's not really a space for me to just sit here and perform, but I'm gonna leave it right there. We're gonna have some performances later on, okay? I just wanted to little sprinkle.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first off, thank you so much for everybody joining this call. Jazz, I appreciate your presence. Tiff, I appreciate your presence. Marje, I appreciate your presence. And Ciera Jevae, you are amazing, our featured performer. I appreciate your presence as well. So we're gonna get it started with a check-in, and just seeing how folks are coming into the space and your introduction of who you are. And I want folks to just start off with saying, who are you? What do you do? And what is your source of power as a Black woman? What is your source of power as a Black woman? And you can choose to decide how you want to answer that question. And anybody can start.
Well, I'll go ahead and start. Hey, y'all, I'm Tiff Morris. I am a wellness advocate. I'm a business leadership coach. I actually also have a line of authentic African waist beads. The website is luckylibra.com. That's LUCKIELIBRA.com. And my business partner, she actually lives in Ghana. So she sources them. The women in the village actually make them they're handmade, and she's learning to do that herself now as well. So they're imported and authentic. And my superpower as a Black woman is my ability to wear many different hats and adapt to any type of situation, but remaining true to myself. So the code switch, I can code switch all day, but I will still be in every situation. I will still be Tiff Morris, and that's my superpower.
Thank you so much, Tiff. Now I would like Cece to introduce herself and let us know what is her source of power as a Black woman.
I say thank you. It is such an honor to be able to be virtually with y'all. I be really feeling like I be lacking melanated people in my life. So yes, so thankful to be here. I am Ciera Jevae. I go by Cece. I am the founder of Melanin and Mimosas, a such sanctuary space for Black women to come together, talk, heal, laugh, dance, all the things. And I wear too many hats. I'm not going to talk about all of those things, but what is most sacred to me is being a spoken word teaching artist. I love working with young people. I love working with fly artists such as yourself. And I'll also just plug, I am a co-founder of an organization called Black Greek Poets. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And a lot of that work is around how do we bring the Black community together to do this amazing work that we are all here to do. And my source, immediately when I think about my source, is what is giving me the energy and the power to do all the things that I do. That is absolutely the Most High, and particularly my one-on-one relationship. Like, I grew up in the church, and that's beautiful and that's great, but it doesn't compare to my one-on-one time. And so that's what fuels me. That's my source. Ashley, thank you.
Thank you so much, Cece. I really appreciate that introduction. And now we are going to pass it to Jazz to just tell us a little bit about herself and what is your source of power as a Black woman.
Peace, everybody. My name is Jazz Monique Hudson. I am like CC, have many slashes behind my name. But I'm a mother, a daughter. I'm the owner and founder of Goddess Butter Oakland, a multi-use shea butter company, and also an artist and an educator here in the Bay Area and wherever else I'm called to be. My energy is a little low because I actually was crying my eyes out maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. Just really processing, I guess, with the prompt, like, of what my strength and my source is, and having to check in with somebody for them to help remind me. Always my strength and source is God and my ancestors. But to be transparent within these days and times, and as a mother and having all those slashes behind your name, sometimes that can become a little skewed, and you might need a reminder or a support in grabbing and reaching that source. But in times that I feel like this, I really lean a lot to prayer. I really lean a lot to ritual. And my children are often the reminders, because I can see the best parts of myself in their reflection. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jazz, for being here. You know what I'm saying? You're such a powerful woman, and to just be in space, even though you're probably not always in the best space, I'm just so grateful and thankful for that. And I also want to highlight that I feel like this is a space, Sistaaz Heal Network, you know what I'm saying, to come together and however you're feeling, whoever you're feeling, whatever you're feeling, and just to be able to stand in that and still have conversations, still step back when you feel like it's time to step back. And I hold prayer very close to my heart as well. So just thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, sis. And now we are going to transition to Marje.
Yes. Hey, everybody. So I am Marje. Y'all can hear me all right? Everything's good? Okay, I'm Marje. I just want to say this is my first successful Zoom meeting in this whole quarantine. That might sound crazy, but I'm really not like a legislative business call type of person. You feel me? I like to just create stuff and then put it out into the world. You feel me? Or pop up and perform somewhere. So this is my first Zoom type shindig, and I'm glad that it's with y'all because this is super cool and I don't feel nervous. This is super relaxing. Y'all look so beautiful. I'm rambling. Okay, so who is Marje? And give me the prompt things. What we doing?
What is the source of your power as a Black woman?
Okay, yeah. This is, wow, what a question to answer. And I think if I had to put it all into one collective pot, I think I would say my power is in expression. And I think because expression is like, it's like when you step into a space, right? And you are unapologetically whoever you are out here. When you step into that space, especially as a Black person, and then specifically as a Black woman, you carry automatically like this certain energy, and everybody's going to look at you when you walk into the room. You speak, people are going to listen. So like expression to me is the most powerful form of powerful essence of being a Black woman, because I really don't know how to put it in words, y'all. It's like, I'm me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm me, and the essence of me is my power. And so however I choose to express myself, whether that's in my clothes, whether that's in my art, whether that's in my day-to-day, my readings, who I talk to, what I do, everything that I am, you gonna feel it. And it's just, yeah, that's just what it is.
Thank you so much, Mo. I feel like you said that you didn't know how to express it into words and you just put it into words.
And then I put it in words.
So it's all good. I feel like we all have those moments, you know what I'm saying, where we're like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm saying, but you saying it, sis. You're saying it. And I appreciate that. Again, my name is Nyabingha Zianni. I'm the founder of the Sistaaz Collective, and also the host and founder of Sistaaz Heal Network. I am super excited for episode 3, The Power of Black Women. This is going to be amazing. And if you want to see my intro or whatever and all of the things I do, you can easily go look at the last episode of The Journey of Self-Love or my Instagram at the Sistaaz Collective. I will answer the question though. I feel like my source of power as a Black woman definitely comes from the Most High. I like to pray before I do things, and I like to find purpose before I move, because I feel like with purpose, it fuels your walk and your path. So I definitely feel like grounding and like planting seeds and like sowing seeds is important to my power. And man, I've actually learned how to like focus my power, and I still can grow, but I was definitely very powerful and also angry as a young person. So to grow into this woman now where I can be more calm and understand when it's time to rah, 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 and then when it's time to just, you know, I'm very grateful for that. And Sister Jazz actually, you know, came and talked to me when I was younger too, like in my ear, like so many things, and like kind of like supported that process as well. So I'm so appreciative of everybody on this call, and we're gonna get it started, okay? So I don't like to always just do all discussions. I'm extra, I'm creative, I'm an artist. So I like to change up the process, change up the space, and kind of get folks into a reflective space, and then we can get into a space of discussion and talking from the reflection that we have done. So what I want to do first is, it's this activity called Step Up, Step Back, right? And I've kind of like remixed it to a virtual activity, and it's actually called Fist Up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say different prompts or whatever. And if you identify with those prompts, then you will put your fist up. If you do not identify with the prompt, then you will just, you know, just sit in who you are. But the purpose of this is to be a silent activity. And it's kind of to do some like inward reflection, but also do it in community with others to see like where are you connected with the folks that you're in community with, and you know, where are you at in yourself, in your path, in your journey. So if that's clear to everybody, can you put your fist up? Oh, perfect. Such a beautiful fist. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start off with the first prompt. The first prompt is, I believe Black women are protected as human beings. I believe Black women are protected as human beings. And you can put your fist up. Okay.
It's like a half fist. Like there's no option for a half fist.
I mean, it might be like a, you know what I mean?
Listen, we are protected. I'm protected. We are protected by God, honey. These people out here may not protect us, but He protects us, so we good. We good. That's where I'm coming from. I don't want to going all the way up.
We're not like we are.
I don't know how I thought this was gonna be a quiet activity with y'all.
Okay, sorry.
I love it.
My bad.
No, it's all good. I appreciate all of the energy. Okay, so the next prompt is, I believe the Black man is important to the Black woman. I believe the Black man is important to the Black woman. Okay, yes. All right, so the next one is, I believe the Black woman is God. I believe the Black woman is God. The next one is, I believe the Black woman is the original woman. I believe the Black woman is the original woman. Okay. What else? I am confident in who I am as a Black woman. I am confident in who I am as a Black woman. Okay. The next one is, I am still walking my path of self-love and self-growth. I am still walking my path of self-love and self-growth. The next prompt is, the Black women are the most hated and unprotected beings in this world. The Black woman is the most hated and unprotected being in this world. Interesting. The next one, okay, all right. The next one is, I believe Black women are more than their trauma. I believe Black women are more than their trauma. Okay. The next one is, sometimes I want to sit in the angry Black woman stereotype. Sometimes I want to sit in the angry Black woman stereotype. Ain't nothing wrong with it, okay? I feel that. The next one is, I feel I always have to be a different person to not offend other people around me. I feel I always have to be a different person to not offend other people around me. Okay, period. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. The next one is, I feel I am always explaining my energy in essence to folks who are intimidated by me. I feel I am always explaining my energy and essence to folks who are intimidated by me. I feel that. I refuse to be anybody else but me. I refuse to be anybody else but who I am. I feel code switching is shifting my power. I feel code switching is shifting my power. And you can interpret that however you interpret. The next one is, I believe the Black men in my life protect me. I believe the Black men in my life protect me. Okay. The next one is, I believe in my fellow Black sisters. I believe in my fellow Black sisters. The next prompt is, I feel like I can have a healthy relationships with other Black women. I feel like I can have healthy relationships with other Black women. That is, what's up? The next one, I rarely compare myself to other Black women. I rarely compare myself to other Black women.
That means you don't, or
it means you don't do it as often.
Okay, yeah. You know, you read those questions, you got to make sure it's saying what you're saying. I don't do it that often. I'm not even gonna lie, I do.
Okay. The next one is,
wait, if it's
no.
that you do or you don't.
The next one is gonna be if you do, Tiff. So this one is like I rarely do it, like I don't do it at all,
Okay.
maybe a couple of times. Now this next one is I always compare myself to other Black women. I always compare myself to other Black women.
What's the halfway thing again?
What about sometimes?
You know, and we just stand in our truth. The next one is, I give more compliments than insults to other Black women. I give more compliments than insults to other Black women. That's what's up. The next one is, I find it difficult to have friendships with other Black women. I find it difficult to have friendships with other Black women.
What if you find it difficult to have friendships in general? You know what I'm saying?
You going in and out, Mo. Can you say that again?
Maybe that means I wasn't supposed to say what I was trying to say.
Or it means you had technical issues.
Or it's the train behind you.
Right. Trying to be all mystical. Okay. So the next one is, and the last one is, I am proud of being a Black woman. I am proud of being a Black woman. Okay. I wouldn't want to be nobody else. I'm just saying, like, I like being seasoned. Okay. So now we are gonna go into 3 collective breaths. So if you can unmute yourselves, you know what I'm saying? And just like plant your feet, you know, straighten up your back. And just, we're gonna breathe in and out 3 times. So
I know my feet actually don't even reach the floor right now.
It's all good. Just feel grounded in who you are and breathe in, breathe out. I want you to breathe in positivity. I want you to breathe in those positive vibrations and energies. Breathe out all of the negativity. Just breathe it out. And then I want you to breathe in honesty and being genuine in who you are and sharing that in this space. And breathe out all of the distractions and outside influences and, you know, just not feeling comfortable in who you are. We just breathing all of that out. And we just gonna sit with that. And sit with who we are as powerful Black women in reflection. And we're gonna be on Sistaaz Heal Network and we're gonna keep it real for this discussion. Because folks need to know, y'all. They need to know the real. So come back to me, y'all. Come back to me. Okay? So the next part of this activity is going to be a collective poem. Okay? So what I want folks to do is we're definitely going to have discussion about like how that made you feel. And I have other questions that I want to ask folks and stuff. But for this section, I want folks to create 2 lines. 2 lines of, you can either create it from like how that activity made you feel and you want to make something like poetic or like a story, or just 2 lines of how you're feeling in this moment. And I want you to just create those 2 lines and then I want you to add it to the chat. Does everybody know how to use the chat?
No, ma'am.
Oh. If you go to the bottom, it's a section at the bottom of your phone. It should say chat, and you can press on that, and it's not going to show you the videos anymore. It's just going to be the chat for you because you're on your phone. And then you just type in your 2 lines for your poem in there. And then when everybody is done, I'm going to give y'all like a minute.
Okay.
And that's time. So whenever folks get a chance to just add their poem to the chat, you can do that. And we don't even have to read it back right now. Maybe we could wait to the end to like read it back. You know what I'm saying? And we're just gonna go into the discussion. And you know, I like to look at our discussions as like an organic space or whatever, and everybody doesn't have to feel pressed to answer each question. You know, I know sometimes with like panels, everybody wanna get the mic. This ain't that type of discussion, okay? Everybody don't need the mic every time, but if a question is really moving you and you like, wow, I need to answer this, then this is the space. And if everybody end up talking, that's cool too. I'm just saying, it flows a little bit better when it's like that. Now, we're gonna get it started. My first question is, how are you feeling? How did that activity make you feel? How did it feel to be in community with other folks and like really being honest with yourself? Did you find yourself like hesitating? Did sometimes you really didn't want to say it, but then you had to, you know, do it? Like, tell me like how y'all feeling right now.
I think it was actually really interesting. It's not that I was hesitant on something. Some things I had to really think about. Like, do I do this? And so I really had to kind of like dig deep to even recognize that in myself.
That's real. How's everybody else feeling? Go ahead, Cece. Oh, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. Overall, this is like a very, and it seems super fitting because this is Sistaaz Healing, or is it Heal or Healing?
It's Sistaaz Heal. Yes, yeah. Sistaaz Heal Network.
Exactly. Exactly. And so it feels very fitting for today and like right now, because I was talking to you earlier, Bangs, like my energy is like renewed. I just came out of like a really, 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 it felt dark and it felt unmotivated. I came out of like, I swear y'all, it was a hole, it was a pit. And so like today, I'm also observing a holy day today, and I'm like, I'm on a road trip and I get to talk to y'all. And I don't know, the questions were beautiful. This space is beautiful. So I just feel good overall.
Thank you so much, Mo. I appreciate that. Who else wants to share? How are you feeling at this moment?
I was just going to share that it's really hard to not talk, right? I think just as like Black women in general, we're like, we got a lot to say. So what you mean, don't talk. But wanting to explain, like wanting to be like, you know, like there's a reason why I feel X, Y, and Z. And so I think that was the thing I struggled with, because what was coming up for me was, especially in the moments where I was like, I know I'm about to be the only person with my fist up for this, or the only person with my fist down, and just being like, but there's a reason, like my lived experience is this particular way, right? And it doesn't mean that it's worse or better, but even in those moments of unspoken moments, like there's still so much connectedness that I feel like, even though my experience is different, I still feel a part of this sisterhood without having to say anything. And so that's how I'm feeling.
I think that is like so important, like, and that's why I like that this exercise is silent, because sometimes we not gonna have space to explain, but we still have to stand in our truth and stand in who we are and what we believe in. And I'm also trying to like practice like stepping back more and like listening more instead of talking so much. So I just thought this would be like an interesting exercise to just see how folks respond to that, especially in a virtual space, because we do this in space with one another, but I haven't seen it virtually before. So I really wanted to share this with y'all. Jazz, did you want to share something? You on mute.
I'm still learning to text stuff. I'm like, I think that the exercise was really powerful, especially coming off the step up or fist up, fist down line. I think it was challenging for me. I think it's challenging for me, period, nowadays, to share words and thoughts that are not edited, that are not thought about how they're going to be perceived, or if someone's going to question, like, what, you know. But there is lightness, there's levity in your truth, and so it gave me some levity. But I'm very judgy on myself and even my writing. Most of the time I write anyway. I don't even write like pen to paper or type things out. I speak first. So it was really hard for me to not just be talking out loud and to just say whatever came out. And then I had to hurry up and press send because I was taking a minute, and it really was just about to be one sentence, 2 words with a period on each word, to be like, she said 2 sentences, that's 2 sentences, because I was starting to edit, like, you know. So it is powerful to challenge ourselves to be vulnerable and courageous and all of these things with our sisters. And, you know, I have some familiarity with everyone on the Zoom, but like not super interpersonal. And so my writing for me nowadays be so personal, and that's probably why I don't write as much as I used to. But I appreciate you for creating that space, and I felt safe enough to share it. And so I appreciate you all for creating a sacred space where I could be vulnerable enough to share that. That makes sense. I'm like, y'all hear me?
Like,
you know what, Jazz, I have to say this. When you came on, I felt the low energy. Like I could just sense it. And you know, we haven't connected. Yeah, I mean,
around the corner from my house, crying on the curb for like 10 minutes, talking to my friend in DC, like having a whole breakdown. And when I got on, he was like, "Oh, you look so cute." Woo! And I was like, "That's a part of the image, but I feel this on the inside." And I was like, "Oh, I got this Zoom. Let me fix this. I got the Zoom. Hey y'all," like, you know, like, and I have to get on here and talk about the power of being a Black woman. And I don't think that it's power in pretending, because I'm not pretending. I'm being very transparent about what I feel, but I definitely think that there is power in the ability to feel those complexities and still show up in spaces where we need to. Because I think as a Black woman, that's some of the devalue that we get a lot. Like, oh, you know, you can't be emotionally going through something like this and then still show up where you need to. Like, it don't take away from my wisdom, my spiritual wisdom and my collective wisdom. But yeah, I didn't think y'all wasn't gonna be able to feel it. I'm like, y'all tapped in, y'all gonna feel it. So but I didn't feel true enough to lie and be like, I'm doing great. I'm like, nah, just keep it real.
And I'm so grateful for your vulnerability and sharing that. And honestly, I can see that energy really rising with you now. Like just being on this call and just having these exercises. I can see your energy, and I don't know if you feel that way, but it appears to me like, you know, it's kind of doing great for your energy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was thinking that in my head. Don't be in my mind.
That's my superpower, girl.
yes.
I read you.
Oh wow, y'all are amazing. I just appreciate Black women. Like, we just get in space and we just hold each other, and we don't even have to see each other in hella long, and then we come together like we've been knowing each other for years. So I'm just so grateful for y'all. And my next question is, Oh, I guess this works perfect. What does it mean to you to be in community with fellow Black women? What does it mean to you to be in community with fellow Black women? Anybody can answer.
I say it's support. It's very supportive. When it's the group of Black women that are comfortable in their space enough to not be competitive or negative, it can be very supportive. It can also show you that there are people that are going through very similar things as you, and when they share their stories, it allows you to share your truth. Like, it's okay to share that I'm not having a good day. You know, when you see other people in that space and just be standing in their truth, it just makes you more comfortable to stand in your own.
Thank you, Tiff. Mo, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yeah. I was about to say that for me personally, it's strange because as I became more introspective of myself, I've kind of realized that I struggle within community, or I struggle with vulnerability, maybe it is. And obviously you would think a lot of that would come from nature and nurture, you feel me? So like my childhood led me to be who I am, you feel me? So I have more control over what I do and what I choose to put my energy towards. And so today I didn't want to approach the question from a negative standpoint, as in I don't feel or connect to Black women, because that's not true, but it is it's also a reality that sometimes for some people it's hard for us to get into spaces and to be authentic and to not feel attacked and to you feel me, just share space and to be okay and to be comfortable with who we are and what we are, especially when we are already we're so wounded, you feel me, that anything and especially if I'm thinking about like the Bay Area artist scene, you feel me, or like, because we've all been in these spaces, right, where we're communing with other people and like we're sharing our art. So I'm already coming in this space feeling vulnerable because I'm sharing my art, or I'm here and I'm me and I look like me, and who knows what that holds for me. So like when I come into this space, and if you're dealing with other chocolate women who may be like you said, they may be competitive, or they may be, you know, you get the side eye, you get the, what you talking about? You don't know nothing about nothing. Oh, look at your hair. You feel me? But like, so it's hard for you not to feel so callous and so hard towards your other chocolate women. But on the other side of the coin, I know I'm talking about the negative point, but that's only because that balance exists, you know? So I don't mean to sound like I don't love building with my chocolate sisters, and I don't love chocolate women, but just that it's hard out here when you're trying to be vulnerable, you feel me?
Right.
And that's
and I think like to acknowledge that is welcome, you know what I mean? Because it's like just how you uplifted that your childhood created you to be this like introverted person and like not really feeling as comfortable in certain spaces. It's the same for our fellow sisters who might feel more competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they're competing for attention that they didn't receive when they were younger. So then they bring in this energy. And sometimes our fellow sisters, you know, like some, not all, have like this energy without even knowing that it's there. Now, don't get me wrong. Some do know, okay? But it's some out there who just have like an energy about themselves, and they probably wish that they can be something else, you know? And I feel like even ourselves sometimes, like even as women who are conscious of that and are trying to like shift that energy and shift that mindset, we still have our moments, and it's okay to like stand in that, you know? But it's also good to build from there and grow from there. Because once you know better, then you do better, right? But it ain't gonna say like you knowing better, it's gonna be you doing better all the time. No, there's times where we have to be like, okay, chill out, Naya. You're doing a lot. Step back, pray, move on, you know? So I just wanted to share that. And if anybody else wants to share on this question of what it means to be in community, then it's open. So I guess Jazz, were you finna say something?
The question was, what does it mean to be in community with Black women?
What does it feel like to be, or no, it was, what does it mean to be in community with Black women? And then I would also add this, because it's already been talked about. Do you feel there is still a problem with Black women being competitive with one another? Which was my next question, which can flow into how you perceive and share.
I think to be in community with Black women is to be in community with yourself. When I was a teenager, I was really always the one to be like, I only kick it with dudes, women messy. You know, I was raised by my daddy. I got a bunch of brothers. I just do real good with male energy. And I remember a friend challenging me like, you got a problem with yourself if you can't be around women. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I love myself. I love being with myself. And I was just like, you know, women, it's always some beef. It's always some attitude. It's always some emotion. It's always something this. And these were things that were happening when I was like 14 years old. And then when I started to really step into getting a close group of friends, was somewhere around 16, but I went through all this healing, and it was a lot of the healing was centered around my mother and my grandmother. And it really did have to deal with not being comfortable with myself, because every time I was around Black women, it brought up something for me. But because I wasn't tapped into my trauma or my feelings, I felt like it had to deal with them. And so I really think to be in community or to commune with Black women is to commune with yourself, to really be challenged to face all the complexities of yourself, maybe things you might not have arrived at yet, things that you were at one point in time, or sitting right where you're at in the moment. Competition amongst Black women, I think, definitely still exists. I think as long as competition exists amongst people, amongst humans, it will exist amongst Black women and Black people. To be in an industry of entrepreneurship and Black women be at the forefront of it, and women be at the forefront of it, and still be considered the minority in a leading industry, I think will make way for that. You know, I do definitely in the past 3-4 years see more images, more videos, more mantras and affirmations of like, big up your sister, I'm gonna help you fix your crown, sister. And I didn't see those things when I was in high school. I didn't see those things in college like that. They just really didn't exist. And at 32, I'm definitely seeing more of that. But because of that, people are trying to hold their spot. And I don't even think it's direct competition or jealousy as much as it is people trying to hold on and defend what they have. If there was less of a feeling of scarcity when love was present, people wouldn't do that. But what we know to be true is no scarcity in love. But like folks over here, like fighting just to hold their spot. And I don't even really feel like I'm hating on the next woman as much as it is I'm trying to hold on to what I have. Yeah.
Man,
That's good.
that is so real.
I want to add something really quick. So many things were marinating in my mind, and Jazz, I feel like you really hit it on the head just with this idea of like, it's not so much that we're competing with one another versus there are so many layers put on top of us that are almost invisible. They're heavy, but we can't see them. All we can see is each other. And so I'm not looking, I can't physically see colorism, right? But I know how I feel. And I know that when I'm next to a Black woman who is light skinned and I'm seeing all the attention she's getting or whatever the case may be, or she got this job over me, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just one example. We're not talking about class. We're not talking about who grew up in a house with a mom and a dad and who didn't and who was impacted by mass incarceration and who was, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's all of these invisible layers that very clearly exist and that are weighing on us, but all I see is you. And that idea of being in community with other Black women as a direct result of being in community with yourself is, I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at me because I can't understand and I can't process all of these systems and structures that have been built for my destruction, right? And so when I can sit and be right within myself, it's not a competition, because when I'm up there, you up there. You know what I'm saying? That idea of like, all of my success is your success. So when I see you, Naya, doing all of this, we had this conversation earlier. I'm like, you're doing it. It is amazing. And my feeling is like, it's lit. Let me get on my stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's more joy. And you know what I'm saying? Versus feeling that competition is really just a result of not being able to name and see the systems and the structures and the people and other races that are very, very much against us as Marje would say, chocolate folks.
Yeah.
Against, but that's another conversation.
Right. I'm so grateful for you bringing up that point, Cece. I'm just so grateful for this space, okay, y'all? Because I didn't just like cultivate and create this space to help other Black women heal. I'm doing this for myself too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am almost 24 next month. Okay. And I am still growing. I'm in a relationship with somebody who is very much older than me. And I just need Black women around me. Okay. Like, it's nice to be around him, but I need that female energy. And that's why, Jazz, when you brought up that point, which a lot of young women and older women bring up about liking to be around male energy more than female energy, I remember like someone saying like, that's what the importance of like sister circles and young men's group or brother circles is for, because at the end of the day, you still need that female divine energy around you to truly like build you into the woman that you're supposed to be, you know? And for a long time, like, especially after I got pregnant, I started to like distance myself from people and like really like just go MIA and solo. And it really had nothing to do with the people around me. It had to do with where I was growing to, you know what I'm saying? And it's just beautiful to be in space with other Black women who are farther along in their journey and to listen to them speak, because y'all giving me some game and I need all of it. So I'm definitely taking mental notes, and I'm so grateful for all of your spirits and energies and wisdom. You're just amazing. Now, what I want to ask is, what do you feel it is important? What do you feel is important for young Black girls to know that you didn't know growing up? What do you feel is important for young Black girls to know that you didn't know growing up?
Come on, Tiff.
I was trying not to be the first one to speak every time, but I will say that. I'll go ahead. I'll be the one that just starts us off. Come on, give me the question. Give me the question. And this is something I'm actually still working on now. Okay, so I'm 37 years old. Okay, and I'm still working through this, right? But my thing is like, it's okay to not be like perfect. It's okay to not have all of the answers. Like, it's okay. Like, just like, that's why I was so grateful for you, Jazz, when you came on and was like, you know, I just was over here having a really hard time. So y'all, like, you know, excuse me if I'm not like, that's okay. And just almost to circle back around to what we talked about just being with like other Black women and being able to like have a real relationship with them. You can't have a real relationship with anybody if you don't recognize that. You know, if you don't recognize, if you can't be vulnerable with someone, then you can't have a real relationship with them. But don't miss this, you can't be vulnerable with everybody. So some of these women, yeah, you know, like I mean, I have some amazing friends, some Black women. Like I'm surrounded by Black people. Okay, I live in Atlanta, so you know, it's all the Black people here, right? And so I have some amazing relationships with some Black women. But and when I thought about like, okay, are women still like competitive and this? And I'm like, yeah, they are. I don't really see that a lot, and I think it's because of my energy. Like I'm the type of person, like I can read energies, right? So I'm the type of person that I could read and be like, I don't think she's not my type of chick. But that's okay. You don't have to be my type of chick, you know, and I don't have to be your type of chick. We just don't, and that's okay. And there's no hate there. There's no, but you know, we're just not, that's just not us. So those are a few things that like, if I could talk to my teenager self, I don't have to be Miss Popularity and fit into all these groups and not really know who I am. Because when you try to be Miss Perfect, or you try to have all the answers and you just try to be like something that you're not, you miss that whole self-discovery of who you actually are. And so I'm 37 years old, like I said, and my birthday is Wednesday coming up. Oh yeah, so you know what? I'm not even 37 yet. I'm already claiming it, y'all. But I am, because you know I'm claiming this next year, because this is, hey, every year, no shame in my age, because every year, if you're not growing older, then you know you're dying. So that's just one thing I would really tell myself if I was back in like high school, and it's also something that I am continuing to work on, like every day, consciously.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Jazz, Ashe. I feel all that. I read your lips. Yes.
I just wanted to add really quickly, super simple. What I wish I was told when I was younger is, I'm gonna just read it because it's right in front of my face. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah, right? This idea that everything that you need is already inside of you, period. Because so much of finding ourselves in life is like trying to go to other people and other places and all of these things, and those things are important, but at the end of the day, you're really just going into these different spaces to understand what's already inside of you. And so you don't have to go hella far to be like, I'm lost, what am I doing? Just that idea that like somebody loved you so much that they knitted you in your mother's womb, right? Like there was so much intention poured into who you as one individual in this massive world, that you have a roadmap. Like there's somebody that's really looking out for you, and everything you need is in you.
I love that.
Yes, I do too. It reminds me of this book that I was listening to. It's called The Alchemist. I don't know why it reminds me of that, but definitely like just like sometimes we go on these journeys, or we're going to search, like you said, Cece, and really all it takes is you like triggering something inside of you, or getting to a different level of enlightenment to really unlock the different levels of yourself. So I definitely like appreciate you sharing that. And if I was to answer the question, if I was to answer the question, I would definitely say like what I would tell my younger self is you need to focus on your inner beauty and not your outer beauty. Because I feel like for me, I was so focused on how I looked on the outside, how much I weighed, like all of these different things. And I was so angry as a child because of all of the stuff that was going on at home with my moms and all of the relationship things, and just like not feeling like I can truly be beautiful, truly be me. And really all I had to do was just hone in on like this beautiful soul and power and inner like child of Most High that was always inside of me, my light that was always inside of me, but I was dimming myself and allowing others to dim for me as well, because I didn't truly understand that you are a spiritual being. Your body is just a vessel. Of course you take care of it. Of course you make sure it look good in certain situations. But at the end of the day, your soul and your spirit is the most important thing that you need to be focused on. That's what I would tell myself. And man, I probably will be different right now. But maybe I don't need to be, you know? It's life. We grow. We learn.
So it's the process. You had to go through it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm getting so much just from this. Like, I be hearing like all these affirmations and sayings. So like when Tiff was talking, I could hear everybody ancestors don't rock with your ancestors. When CC was talking, like I could just hear in my head, like, you teach people how to treat you, like stand in your ashe. One of my mantras I've been saying like every week is take what you could carry, not what you could pull. But I'm like, dang, what about when you can't even carry nothing? So what really always used to resonate for me is like, because we come into this world with things to offer, you'll be activating your gifts at a young age, even if you are centered around hood stuff or people who don't serve you. Like, you still can't access your gifts and it don't be in a way that you were destined to use them. And I needed to remember or know back then was like, you can't give anything to anyone until your cup is not full but overflowing. Like literally there's everything you have is pouring out of your cup. Then you have some to share. And that's something that still remains true as a mother of 3, as a wife, as all this. Like, you know, in the moments where I feel like I can't precisely, concretely answer the question, where do you get your source of strength from, or all of that, it's because when I body scan or when I look at myself, I'm like, oh, you done poured everything out of your cup. And now you sitting over here like, what to do? And oftentimes when you are that person that is pouring and giving things out of your cup, when you find yourself in a place of depletion, it is hard to reach out to other people to pour back into your cup, because you have showed up as that person who only has a position of give. So I think that somewhere in that is being honest with yourself. You know, do not create glass houses, do not create mirrors. And that's really hard to do, because we live in a society that's constantly telling us to tap into something outside of us. But I'm learning more and more that individualism is also a sign of trauma, and it's a hella Europeanized concept. And so I take it that these future selves I'm talking to, or these younger people I'm talking to, Black girls. And so try to stay in the community of us, because it's really easy to self-isolate. To what Marje was saying about friends, it's hard for me to have relationships with women at 32, not because it's not an abundance of women around that don't want to be my friend. I isolate a lot. I isolate a lot, and that's been a way of me healing myself. So yeah, that would be my advice. Like, really, really, like, pay attention to your overflow, and to protect your space so you can be able to live in your truth. Yeah.
Man, I just had to sit in that real quick. Okay. Shoot. Yes. Wow.
I have a question. I have a question. So, because one thing Jazz just said hit me about when your cup is depleted, how do you refuel yourself? You know, like, how do you fill your cup back up? And one thing that I have really been working on is trying to recognize when my cup is depleted, but like before it is before I've hit rock bottom. You know, it's like you have to recognize when your cup is half empty and it needs a refill, you know? And there was an analogy that I don't even know who it was, but it doesn't matter. But it was actually speaking about moms and their children and just like their families, just trying to hold everything together. And it's the same about the cup. And it was like, imagine you have your cup here, and then you have your work cup, your, you know, business cup, your friends, your family, you know, all the stuff you have to do. And see, what we try to do is we try to pour, you know, we get a little bit into our cup and then we go. And then we get some more and then we go like this. And so our cup never gets full, you know, so we honestly have to like constantly like pour into ourselves in a way. And it's not selfish. You know, we have to constantly pour into ourselves because as it's pouring and once it becomes overflow, what's going to happen? It's automatically just going to spill everything. Yes. You know, so we don't have to then take it and dump it back out. So one thing I would just challenge everybody is to start to recognize when you're getting to that point where your cup is starting to feel depleted, and then find what feels good to you to help you like just kind of replenish yourself. And for me, it is quiet time. I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. So quiet time does not come often to me. So I've started waking up early before the kids, before everyone gets up, so I can have that moment of meditation. And I was very imbalanced this week. I was rushing, getting up right at the last minute, dealing with the kids. I had a lot going on. And Naya and I yesterday did a meditation. And when I tell you, I've been feeling so good after that. Like my energy is like just completely different. So I'm grateful for that, but I did want to share that.
Oh, wow. That's just a whole lot of just sitting and all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge. I'm like that. What you reminded me of too, Tiff, when you was talking, is basically like living from check to check, living from cup to cup. You know what I'm saying? And like trying to like make ends meet, scrape up the water you can from the little puddles outside. And then it's like, what is the quality of water that you're scraping up and putting into your cup? Is it that filtered water? You know what I'm saying? Is it
alkaline?
Right. What is it?
Alkaline water.
That's what I'm saying. But if we scooping up the puddle, that ain't alkaline.
Nah, that
got some particles in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, what exactly are we giving to ourselves? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's also important to recognize. Is like, what is the quality of water that we're pouring into our cups and also pouring into the cups around us, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's, wow. I needed that analogy for today. Okay. It's definitely in my mind as to what I need to do. I guess my next question would be, what is the secret sauce of a Black woman? What is the secret sauce? Like, what is the good burger sauce of a Black woman? You know what I'm saying? What is it, y'all?
I got to charge. I got to plug my battery in, so that's why I'm not. I'm trying to get in position.
What's the sauce, Marje? Yep.
Why is on me? I'm trying to figure out the sauce. Can y'all hear me? Am I breaking up?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, because I've been having some struggles, y'all. But y'all, okay, so the sauce, look. All right, first things first, you need to start with some grilled onions. All right, you put some onions in the pot, it changes your meal entirely. So let's start there.
So you let them
That's really all I got, because like,
you gonna let them simmer?
Let them simmer.
Wait, this like that that's like that code we gotta decode. So you gonna say the ingredients, I'm a decode. So we put some onions in the pot. I want you ladies to know that her holistic reference for onions is that women, we have layers. We have layers. So you put the layers
Come
in
on with it. Okay, poet. Yes.
Okay, what about this one?
ingredient, Marje.
You also need your fresh herbs. You feel me? You need your basil, your oregano, your thyme. You need the things that come from the earth to give your food the best flavor. So what that mean?
What she said, the sister is saying, y'all, she's saying we are the medicine. We are the medicine.
Wait, say that again. What she say?
Jazz is just so into it.
No, wait, what did she say though?
I said what she's saying is we are the medicine. We are the medicine.
Okay.
Yo,
Okay.
Greatness.
Look, okay, so you start with those.
That shea butter, that cocoa butter, girl. You know.
If you start with those two ingredients, you can make your meal whatever you want it to be. This is such a difficult question to answer because it's like we each have our own sauce. You feel me? And like we come with so many different complexities and layers. It's like when I was younger, I used to look at people and I would covet, you feel me? I would look at them and I'd be like, wow, she's so witty. How she do that? Or like, wow, her mind moves so quick, or she's so chill and calm. I want to be chill and calm. Like, or like, oh, she doesn't care what anybody says about what she does. And I'm like, damn, how could I be like that? But it's pretty much like what we were saying for the last question. It's like trying to understand and trying to replicate everybody's sauce. It doesn't work because you feel me? You got to come up with your own recipe, family. You feel what I'm saying? Shoot.
Right. Just like if how your grandma make mac and cheese, you're not gonna make it exactly the same because you're not gonna use the same ingredients because you don't drink cow milk. Okay, I'm just saying. But that was a little personal. So now we are gonna wrap this up and do our performances. I appreciate y'all for joining. I feel like we could talk all day. Tiff already know we can go. You know what I'm saying? Jazz, I know we can go, and all of us together, the day will be gone. So we're gonna wrap up with these questions, and we're gonna start off with our performances. We have 3 folks performing. We have our beautiful Marje opening us up. We have Jazz, like giving us the onions, the tomatoes, and the lettuce. And then we have Cece coming with the full foil, I guess. You wrapping up the sandwich. You're like
keeping it fresh.
Yes, keeping it fresh. Thank you. I needed that. So yes, we're gonna flow it and glow it. And then we're going to close out after the performances. I appreciate everybody. And now I'm passing it over to Marje.
All right. Okay, y'all. So I have this song. It's called Mama's Couch. And I really hope this background noise is not too crazy. I've been trying to find a good spot for this whole Zoom call. But this song feels very appropriate because it's important that when we're looking at ourselves and our own personal trauma and our own personal healings, that we also, can I ask y'all a question real quick? Do y'all feel like in your life, in your journey, you became the responsible party for like your family or like your family's well-being or your social group's well-being? Do you ever feel like the weight just falls on you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So this song is like, I'm talking too much, but I just want to illustrate like the complexities of when you begin to understand like your journey and your personal healing. You more likely than not, you're coming from a home where it's deep rooted in trauma. You feel me? So you might be the one that came to some sort of awakening, but you can't leave your mama behind. You feel me? Your mama probably drives you crazy with like certain things that she says or certain things that she does, and you're recognizing like the toxicity and how she moves. But like, we gotta look out for our mamas, y'all. We gotta look out for our family, and also look out for ourselves. And that's a tough thing to do. That's a lot. That's really a lot. Okay, and I'm gonna be quiet now and do this song.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna do our best. Amen. These closet got bodies, they been haunting me. Hey, these closet got bodies, they been. So, mama, can I sleep on your couch tonight? Trying to stay strong, though my pocket's tight. They could never get me, cause I'm built to fight. Better back, cause you bet I bite. Ay, mama, can I sleep on your couch tonight? No, it's been tough and there's lonely nights. Keep a straight face, never seen you cry. Promise one day I'ma ease your mind. Picking up the pieces, bending backwards to the sound. And I'm tripping over rhythm, getting lost up in this town. Searching for a savior, peeking back behind the clouds. Lost inside a sauce that really never simmered down. Knees been feeling weak, I'm getting closer to the ground. Garden feeling hard and harvest altered in this drought. Light a candle for me, don't you let them put me out. Rain is coming soon. Keep finna burn it down. Hey, these closet got bodies, they been haunting me. My closet got bodies, they been haunting me. Mama say you better be home for the street lights. But if they start chunking them, we run into the street fight. Mac and cheese, cornbread, yams with the sweet rice. Corner store babies gravitated towards the street life. Raised in real rich, and so you know that it just fit right. Game is from my daddy and my mama known a fist fight. Throw dice, count twice, look when she walked by. So fly. Hood baby with the mean eye, she ain't shy. Sweatsuit always pressed right in '05. Same time as the crime rise, granny's pie. Death tolls at a new high, bullets fly. It's spunky on all sides, black boys die. The rest of us is traumatized, black boys die. The rest of us is traumatized, black boys die. The rest of us is traumatized. They been haunting me. Hey, my closet got bodies, now they haunting me. Closet got bodies, they been haunting me. Mama, can I sleep on your couch tonight? Oh, my pocket's tight. Never seen you cry. Better back, cause you bet I bite. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mo.
Thank you, girl.
I appreciate you. Like, that was beautiful.
I don't know what was going on, but I hope y'all heard something.
Zoom is all the things, okay? Zoom is all the things. And yeah, we got to make it do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I heard it and it was beautiful. So I appreciate you for sharing. Thank you so much. Next up is Sister Jazz Hudson hopping on the mic and sharing a poem with us. Sister Jazz, it's on you.
I don't have no poem. I got some words though.
That's all we need.
Look at me like, what? No, don't go Richmond over here. Over there. No. I got some words for you. When you want to know the end, look at the beginning. The process isn't always effortless. It's continuous. It's painful. It's intentional. Sometimes the process is unsure. The process is infinite. It's divine. The process is always on time. The process is spiritual faith. Faith to the rescue. Faith is how we love as a function of knowing who we are. Faith grows when you know who you are. Put faith in who you are and not what you wear or what you do or how other people see you. Truth is more than just a mental exertion. Truth can't can't live in the mind that is consumed with mental chatter, so clear out the chatter. Take time for silence, not just when someone is dying or something is dead. Take time for silence, not just when mourning. Take time for silence. Even if the thoughts become too loud, you must quiet the mind. That is only when we can hear God. God is always talking. Sometimes your mind is just too loud. Truth is the spirit of life. Worry is an issue of control. Worry is a vampire that drains the soul. Worry is weakness to the immune system. So shine light to get vitamins, shine light to get source, shine light so you can grow, but don't shine light too much because you can die in that too. Sorry, my phone keeps. Attend to yourself with loving kindness, attention, and acknowledge all that you feel. Meet yourself with faith. Standing ovations come from authentic self. So acknowledge yourself. Write a brag list to yourself. Brag on what you do because your existence is a miracle. You are made of more than what happens to you. There's science in knowing. Faith. So trust. Faith and trust go hand in hand. You can't have full-time blessings with part-time faith. You can't praise the blessings and curse the journey. So be thankful because all of this process is necessary. We must learn the virtue of patience. You either going to grow up because ain't no sense in growing down. Ashe.
Ashe. You said you can't have full-time blessings with part-time faith.
Man, I felt that.
I was like, ooh. Okay. I appreciate
That was definitely a poem, first of all.
Not like it's notes to remind myself, like when I hear certain things is powerful, either from somebody or my head or maybe an ancestor. I don't know where it comes, but I just start writing stuff. And the crazy thing is, Nia asked me to speak. So then when I seen our email was like performances at the end, I was like, I didn't agree to no performances. And so then in my head,
you didn't see the smiley face after it?
I saw that. And like Tiff was saying, she was like, I could feel your energy shifting being on here. And it really has been therapy. So being in community with Black women is therapy because I forgot. So I'm like scouring notes, trying to find some old poems or a haiku or something. And I was like, oh, fool, you put these notes to yourself when you having hard days. Perfect. So I just read the notes to myself and to you because you were a reminder of the medicine that I said I had for myself and other people, but myself first. So, and I'm about to cry right now, but, I don't know how to not be honest. That's a character that I never will fade. And just in all honesty, like the last 3 days been really hard for me to value life and myself. And it's not that I don't have a community of people. I just never want to be a burden. And the ego is a powerful thing. So just if I didn't get on this call, I don't know where I would be in terms of my spiraling because I was definitely spiraling before this call. So I just appreciate being into the space. And I hope that my words were able to provide some healing for anybody who's listening because you all activated a lot in me. And I saved a life in a moment. Thank you.
Can we just all take a collective breath together and just breathe in and hold all of the energy and just amazingness that has been shared thus far in this space? Power. Yes. All of you are so amazing. I'm so like geeked up right now. I guess it's the Bay in me. Okay, so now we're going to pass it to our featured performer, someone who is amazing. She is a published author. She got her master's degree, okay, in poetry, writing, creative writing. And she also just is a mentor. She is one of those folks who definitely pours her cup out to the folks around her unapologetically and just holding space for everyone. And even when she needs time for herself, she's still trying to give to others. So she's definitely a light, a community activist, and a powerful Black woman. So I definitely want to bring Cece up to share and just be in her amazing self and just give us a little something.
Thank you. I really appreciate those affirmations. Like, need that in this moment of all the shenanigans that are occurring. And I'm just hella blessed to be in this space with y'all. Because, wow, so many gems, all of the things. I'm going to try to share 3, might be 2, just depending on time, because I got to teach in 30 minutes. But we going to make it work. This piece I want to share first is called On Thursday Mornings, and this was really my self-love journey in a lot of ways. So, all right. Ain't gonna let nobody turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I gotta keep on walking, keep on talking. I'm building a brand new world. So will you join me? Will you join me? Will you join me? I'm building a brand new world. On Thursday mornings, I cleanse myself in fading lullabies, kiss the child in me, melt myself in sweet serenades of I love you, and aren't you everything I ever wanted to love? Sage be the blackout of forgotten days where I hated a mirror's reflection of me. Candles be biblical healing burning through moments of uncertainty, and then there are the quotes, words inscribed on walls to consume the worst parts of me. Lay a pretty burial. Fill up the graveyard with all the ways I learned to love myself wrong. But now are the days in which I plunge myself in water, call it a daily baptism in moments of awakening, ascend from my bathroom a new naked creature, give myself a new name, all the names I lost in translation, in Atlantic slave trades and oceans of my mother's forgetfulness. I make peace with the mirror, reflections, smile at all my blackness, my smooth and wrinkled skin, all the aftermath of a tsunami on my hips, and I tell you, I never seen music so vivid on a body, the way the drums made ripples through my spine and how gospel escaped from my voice and sounded like an angel's laughter, laughing at secrets the rest of the world would never know anything about, laughing because she know how real it is to live, but how holy it be to die, to have conquered her peace in this world and be granted with the smiles of her people. Don't you hear the trumpets roaring? Bodies swing dancing into the 1920s saying, won't you dance with me? Won't you sing the body song with me wall to wall, bringing both the body and the house alive as if they didn't feel like one and the same, a whole lot of something made for somebody else. What is the difference between a house and a womb? Nothing. And me and all my nothingness have made a conquest of our enemies, have made a village of the denied, rage in love, made the land of the dead rise like nothing I'd ever witnessed. But ain't that something? To see the dead come back as something you needed, something so fierce and benevolent, so merciful, like a little Black girl's smile. Ashe, that's that piece. I'm gonna share. So I have grandparents in St. Louis. That's where my dad's side of the family is from. And I had the pleasure a couple years ago of meeting my family for the first time, meeting my grandmother, my aunties, and one of my aunts before she passed away. But it was really sacred to meet my grandmother. And just this weird, like, she hasn't seen me since I was 2. And as soon as she saw me, she was like, okay, I have all this stuff for you. And one of the things she gave me was this ring. And it's just like, I love this thing. It's an uncut crystal. And so I wrote this piece to myself and to her, How to Choose. St. Louis loved me in my mama's womb even before we met. And we didn't meet until I turned 24. It received love poems from the cracking pavement of my grandmother's house, allowed my auntie to lay eyes on me and say, I love you, in the flesh before the sickle cell anemia eroded first her eyes, then her body. And when I flew home to St. Louis made sure to give me both sacredness and tradition poured into grandma's rings. This is the story of how I chose God, how I didn't learn of your humor and sweetness until 6 years after baptism. Learn how you curated heartbeat to vibe with jazz. See, I found you on the corner of rose quartz with the lit candle. I knew you by smile, and you knew me by ring, by way of my grandmother's first hug, by way of my father's apology, by way of my great-grandmother's passing the same week as my aunt's funeral, and I knew you. Knew your warm eyes that held no pity for me, but so much love and pride. I knew you by way of thick coils and golden arms, by way of songs and psalms, and you knew me by way of uncut crystal. My grandmother's band, a St. Louis type of resiliency. You knew me by way of home and womb and heaven, and I am a Black girl with 4 orbiting grandmothers and too many missing brothers. I harvest the deepest love of God through my grandmother's rings. I lived this life knowing that I loved her a lifetime with only hugging her once. I learned of God through the first time she laid eyes on me and wept. And that's that piece, Ashe. And the last piece that I'll share with y'all is one of my favorite poems that allows me to be a different version of myself. I don't want to say it's not me. It's just I feel like I'm a very goofy, bubbly person. And if anybody knows, my older sister is like complete opposite. She's very no nonsense. I don't play. Don't try me. And I be wanting to tap into that because I'm like, y'all not finna punk me. You feel me? So this poem channels my big sister. But it comes out of, being in a master's program, one of very few black students, and having a white teacher touch my hair. So this poem is from the perspective of my beautiful, luscious hair, which is all over the place, but it's lovely. Cool. Black girl's hair speaks for the first time. I always say, don't cometh for me, unless thou hast been sent for, but today I summon you. Truth is, I'm angry at everybody who got anything to say about me. See, I was sitting in class minding my Black business when my professor deemed it okay to touch me, and I was like, white professor, why you think it's your business to lay hands on my crown? Don't you know I feast on mama's brushes? Split combs before split ends, snatch this oxygen. Just as quick as I snatch your edges, I riot against hot combs, flat irons, blow dryers. You ain't no match for me. I'll run through an entire Sally's beauty supply in a month. Watch when I get comfortable. Mama called me tender-headed till I howled back pop rubber bands and knocker balls, absorb edge control in minutes. I'm petty like that. Grow only when I feel like it. Sweat out my curls just because, fade a new dye in 3 weeks tops. I run this shit. Why you think we gotta go to the beauty salon every time? Can't nobody tame me. Recognize the gangster and the beauty. I am what they say I am. Too much for mama. Don't know how to be still. Don't believe in heat. Pray with water and oil. And damn, I broke the comb again. I'm tough like that. Break fake allies like that. Bark back at every uppity white person with the audacity to call me unprofessional, and yet call me new trend on them. I ain't no damn circus act. Just birthed by a God who don't make mistakes. I am a tell-all book on why I can't stand white people with dreads. Take that shit out your head. Must you Columbus everything you come across, make a costume of my crown? You ain't no ally, you a lie. As easily broken into as every comb that tried to break into me. The truth is, I'm popping. Like an Oakland sideshow, like First Friday lituation, like ancestral voodoo, a healer, a curandera, don't come for me. Let this place be a home you are not welcome into. Why you mad when my 4C want to be alone? Want to be tucked into familiarity, speak ill of me, and I will destroy that pretty white shirt. Have you covered in all this black grease magic, please? Sit down, be humble, Professor Becker, your degrees will not save you. I am not the one to play with. I've had to question the coil of my roots all life long. Had to perm my curls to believe in my pretty, and I'll be damned if I let you touch any of this here magic. I'm allowed to be this angry, this ferocious, this riot, this nappy, this petty, this God. And I don't make mistakes. Ashe. Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Man, when you said shit, they did what? Touch your hair?
That's
It was
oh, wow.
Girl, you was just minding your black business.
Right.
Your black business. That's all you was trying to do.
That was amazing.
You're not even talking.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That was dope, Cece. That was beautiful. I appreciate you for sharing that power. Now I'm gonna do one last thing and then we're gonna close out. Baked in forgiveness. Today I don't have to say sorry. Oh, to be a black woman whose body is a church home bearing of blood and fruit. Girl, hold your head up high and stand firm in your truth. You were made to be a light to lead a nation. In the midst of the darkness, I feel like my glass house is cracking. Who will catch me when it all falls down? I know my healing is a gift. I just wish I had enough strength to keep my hands open for my own blessings. Who will heal the healer who won't heal herself? Sistaaz Heal, where we keep it real. All my sisters just created that collective poem, and I just wanted to share it to end off this beautiful space. Oh, wow. Oh, to be a black woman. Ah, I know y'all jealous of the seasoning, because I would be. I am so grateful for all of y'all. I know time is over, so we're going to end it right here, and I appreciate everybody. Y'all are amazing, and I want y'all to have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Banks. Thank you, all my sisters.
Bye.
Of course, sending all love and positive energy to all of y'all and peace of mind.
Yes.
Passion on your lips, come and take a sip. You want to. You know in your glass, hold and make it last to the moon. Fire in your eyes, butterflies inside, out of cocoon. You and me are poetry, rhythm and spring. Come dance in my blue.